First contact. The vast expanse of space had always called to Dr. Elena Reyes. As she stood in the control room of the Helios Array, Earth's most advanced deep space listening post, she couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. For years, humanity had been sending signals into the cosmos, hoping for a response. Now, on a crisp autumn morning in 2147, everything was about to change. Dr. Reyes, with picking up something unusual, called out Marcus Chen, one of the younger technicians on her team. His fingers flew across the holographic display, bringing up a series of complex waveforms. Elena hurried over, her heart racing. "Show me," she said, leaning in to examine the data. The signal was like nothing they had ever seen before. It pulsed with a rhythm that was too regular to be natural, yet too complex to be random noise. As Elena studied the pattern, a chill ran down her spine. This was it. This was what humanity had been waiting for. "Run it through the decryption algorithms," she ordered, her voice steady despite the excitement bubbling inside her. "And someone get me a direct line to the Global Space Agency. Now." As the team scrambled to action, Elena took a moment to collect her thoughts. Humanity had made great strides in the past century. They had colonized Mars, established outposts on Europa and Titan, and sent probes to the nearest star systems. But in all their explorations, they had never encountered evidence of intelligent alien life. Until now. Within hours, the news had spread across the globe. Governments convened emergency sessions, scientists pored over the data, and the public waited with bated breath for more information. Elena found herself at the center of a whirlwind of activity, briefing officials and coordinating with experts from around the world. "The signal appears to be an invitation," she explained during a high-level meeting with world leaders. "We've managed to decipher parts of it. They're calling themselves the Arconians, and they want to meet." President Adama of the African Union leaned forward, her eyes intense. "And do we trust this invitation, Dr. Reyes?" Elena took a deep breath. "Madame President, in my professional opinion, this is a genuine attempt at first contact. The Arconians have provided coordinates for a rendezvous point just beyond the orbit of Jupiter. They've also included technical specifications that will allow us to upgrade our propulsion systems for the journey." "It could be a trap," General Zhang of the Chinese Space Force interjected. "We should approach this with extreme caution." "Agreed," Elena nodded. "But we can't ignore this opportunity. The potential benefits of peaceful contact with an advanced civilization are immeasurable." The debate raged for days. Some argued for immediate acceptance of the invitation, while others advocated for a more cautious approach. In the end, a compromise was reached. Humanity would respond to the Arconians, expressing their willingness to meet, but on their own terms. As the preparations began, Elena found herself at the forefront of humanity's greatest adventure. The Global Space Agency fast-tracked the construction of a new vessel, the Prometheus, incorporating some of the propulsion upgrades suggested by the Arconians, but relying primarily on human technology. Elena was chosen to lead the scientific team on the mission. As she watched the Prometheus take shape in the orbital shipyards, she couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. They were about to take a leap into the unknown, and the fate of humanity might well rest on the outcome of this encounter. The day of launch arrived with a sense of gravity that permeated every aspect of the mission. As Elena boarded the Prometheus, she caught sight of Earth through one of the viewports. The blue marble hung there, serene and beautiful, a reminder of everything they were fighting to protect and everything they hoped to gain. Captain Yuki Tanaka's voice came over the intercom. "All hands, prepare for departure. We're about to make history." As the engines rolled to life and the Prometheus broke free of Earth's gravity, Elena closed her eyes for a moment. Whatever lay ahead, humanity was stepping onto the galactic stage. They would face this new chapter with courage, curiosity, and the indomitable spirit that had carried them to the stars. The journey to the rendezvous point took several weeks, even with the enhanced propulsion system. Elena spent the time coordinating with her team, running simulations, and preparing for every possible scenario they could imagine. As they approached the coordinates provided by the Arconians, tension on the ship reached a fever pitch. Everyone was at their stations, eyes glued to sensors and scanners. "Contact," called out the sensor officer. "We're picking up a vessel at the edge of our range. It's massive." On the main view screen, a ship appeared. It dwarfed the Prometheus, its sleek lines and shimmering surface unlike anything humans had ever constructed. As they watched, a message came through. "Greetings, people of Earth. We are the Arconians. We welcome you to the galactic community." Elena exchanged glances with Captain Tanaka. This was the moment that would define humanity's future. With a nod from the captain, Elena stepped forward to respond. "Greetings, Arconians. On behalf of humanity, we extend our hands in friendship and look forward to peaceful exchange." As the words left her mouth, Elena knew that nothing would ever be the same again. Humanity had made first contact, and the universe had suddenly become a much larger, more complex place. The real challenge was just beginning. The arrival, the Arconian ship, christened the Celestial Envoy by the human crew, was a marvel of engineering that defied their understanding. As the Prometheus drew closer, Elena and her team marveled at its organic curves and the faint shimmer that seemed to ripple across its hull. "It's beautiful," breathed Dr. Akira Tanaka, the ship's xenobiologist and Yuki's younger brother. "I wonder what kind of material could create such an effect." Before Elena could respond, a voice resonated through the Prometheus's communication systems. It was melodious yet alien, somehow conveying emotions beyond the capacity of human vocal cords. "Prometheus crew, we invite you to dock with our vessel. We have prepared an environment suitable for your physiology." Captain Tanaka looked to Elena, who nodded. "We accept your invitation," the captain replied. As the Prometheus maneuvered into the docking bay, Elena felt a mixture of anticipation and anxiety. Years of training and preparation had led to this moment, but nothing could truly ready them for an encounter with an alien civilization. The airlock cycled, and Elena led the first contact team into the Arconian ship. The interior was a breathtaking blend of technology and artistry, with corridors that seemed to shift and adapt as they walked. They were greeted by 3 Arconians. The aliens stood nearly 8 feet tall, with slender, elongated limbs and iridescent skin that changed color like the surface of a soap bubble. Their eyes, large and multifaceted, reflected the light in mesmerizing patterns. The central Arconian stepped forward, its skin pulsing with soft blues and greens. "I am Zarthal, lead emissary of the Arconian Collective. Welcome to our vessel." Elena swallowed hard, steeling herself. "I am Dr. Elena Reyes, lead scientist of the Prometheus mission. On behalf of humanity, we thank you for your invitation and look forward to peaceful exchange." Zarthal's skin rippled with what Elena hoped was a positive emotion. "We have long observed your species, Dr. Reyes. Your resilience and creativity have impressed us. We believe the time has come for humanity to join the greater galactic community." Over the next few hours, the human team was given a tour of the Celestial Envoy. They saw technology that seemed to border on magic, gravity manipulation, energy generation from seemingly nothing, and computational systems that made their most advanced AI look primitive in comparison. During a break in the tour, Akira pulled Elena aside. "This is incredible," he whispered excitedly. "The potential advancements of humanity are beyond imagination." But he hesitated. "But what?" Elena pressed. "Don't you think it's strange? They've clearly been watching us for a long time. Why choose to reveal themselves now?" Elena nodded, having had similar thoughts. "We need to remain cautious. For now, let's gather as much information as we can." As they rejoined the group, Zarthal was explaining the Arconian proposal. "We offered to share our knowledge and technology with humanity. In exchange, we ask for your assistance in a matter of great importance to our people." Captain Tanaka raised an eyebrow. "What kind of assistance?" Zarthal's skin shifted to deeper, more somber tones. Our species is facing a crisis, a genetic degradation that threatens our very existence. We believe that human DNA may hold the key to our survival. The revelation sent shockwaves through the human team. The implications were enormous, not just scientifically, but ethically and politically as well. We understand this is a significant request, Zarthal continued. We do not ask for an immediate answer. Take time to consult with your leaders. We are prepared to send a delegation to Earth to further discuss our proposal. As the human team prepared to return to the Prometheus, Elena's mind raced with questions and possibilities. The offer of advanced technology was tempting, but at what cost? And could they trust the Arconians' true intentions? Back on the Prometheus, a heated debate erupted among the crew. Some, like Akira, were eager to accept the Arconian offer, seeing it as a fast track to solving many of humanity's problems. Others, including the ship's security chief, Commander Sarah Chen, urged caution. We know nothing about these aliens, Chen argued. For all we know, this genetic crisis could be a fabrication to gain access to our DNA for more nefarious purposes. Elena listened to all sides, weighing each argument carefully. As a designated liaison, her recommendation would carry significant weight with Earth's leaders. After hours of discussion, Elena made her decision. She would recommend a cautious engagement, accepting the Arconian delegation on Earth, but insisting on a gradual exchange of knowledge and technology. Trust would need to be earned on both sides. As the Prometheus began its journey back to Earth, with the celestial envoy following at a respectful distance, Elena gazed out at the stars. Humanity stood at a crossroads, and the choices they made in the coming days and weeks would shape the future of their species. Little did they know, the true test of humanity's resilience and ingenuity was yet to come. The Arconians' arrival was just the beginning of a journey that would challenge everything they thought they knew about their place in the universe. Integration and tensions. The arrival of the Arconian delegation on Earth marked the beginning of a new era for humanity. As the sleek alien ship descended through the atmosphere, billions watched in awe, their eyes glued to screens across the globe. The landing site, a specially prepared area outside the United Nations headquarters in New York, was surrounded by a sea of people, all straining for a glimpse of humanity's first alien visitors. Elena stood at the forefront of the welcoming committee, her heart pounding as the ship's ramp lowered. Zarthal emerged, flanked by two other Arconians, their iridescent skin shimmering in the sunlight. The collective gasp from the crowd was audible even from a distance. On behalf of the people of Earth, we welcome you, announced Secretary General Amara Okafor, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of diplomatic meetings, scientific exchanges, and public appearances. The Arconians, true to their word, began sharing some of their technology. Breakthroughs in clean energy, medicine, and computing sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Elena found herself working closely with Zarthal and the Arconian scientists, delving into the intricacies of their genetic crisis. The work was fascinating, but as they progressed, she couldn't shake a growing sense of unease. The compatibility between Arconian and human DNA is remarkable, Dr. Yuki Tanaka commented during one late-night research session. Almost too remarkable. Elena nodded, frowning at the data on her screen. I've been thinking the same thing. The statistical probability of such compatibility between species that evolved on different planets, it's astronomically low. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the initial euphoria of first contact began to give way to more complex emotions. While many embraced the Arconian presence and the advancements they brought, others viewed the aliens with suspicion and fear. Protests began to spring up in cities around the world. Humans First became a rallying cry for those who saw the Arconians as a threat to human autonomy and culture. Conspiracy theories proliferated online, ranging from claims that the Arconians were secretly harvesting human organs to assertions that they were preparing for a full-scale invasion. The tension came to a head 6 months after the Arconians' arrival. During a public demonstration of a new Arconian human joint medical technology, a group of protesters broke through the security cordon. In the chaos that ensued, an Arconian scientist was injured. The incident sent shockwaves through both human and Arconian communities. Zarfal, in a rare display of emotion, demanded increased security for his people. "We came in peace, offering friendship and knowledge," he said, his skin pulsing with dark, turbulent colors. "Is this how Earth repays our generosity?" Elena found herself caught in the middle, trying to mediate between increasingly polarized factions. She believed in the potential benefits of cooperation with the Arconians, but she couldn't ignore the growing list of inconsistencies and unanswered questions. One evening, as she was leaving her lab at the newly established Earth Arconian Research Center, she was approached by a figure lurking in the shadows. "Dr. Reyes," the figure called out softly, "we need to talk." Elena tensed, reaching for her comm device. "Who's there?" The figure stepped into the light, revealing the face of Commander Sarah Chen, the security chief from the Prometheus mission. "I'm sorry for the cloak and dagger routine, but what I have to say can't be overheard." Intrigued and alarmed, Elena followed Sarah to a secluded area of the campus. Once they were alone, Sarah spoke in hushed tones. "I've been running my own investigation into the Arconians. There's something they're not telling us, something big." Elena listened intently as Sarah laid out her findings. Discrepancies in the Arconians' story, strange energy readings from their ship, and most alarmingly, evidence of covert genetic sampling from unaware human subjects. "I can't prove anything conclusively yet," Sarah concluded, "but I think we need to be prepared for the possibility that the Arconians' true intentions are not as benevolent as they claim." Elena's mind raced, connecting dots she had previously dismissed. The unease she had felt, the statistical improbabilities, the convenient timing of the Arconians' arrival, it all started to form a disturbing picture. "What do you suggest we do?" Elena asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Sarah's eyes gleamed with determination. "We need to dig deeper, gather more evidence, but we have to be careful. If the Arconians are hiding something, we can't risk tipping them off." As they parted ways, Elena felt the weight of this new knowledge pressing down on her. The fate of humanity might very well rest on their ability to uncover the truth behind the Arconians' presence on Earth. Returning to her apartment, Elena found herself staring out at the city skyline, now dotted with the distinctive architecture of Arconian buildings. The world had changed so much in such a short time. But as she reflected on Sarah's revelations, she couldn't help but wonder. Was this rapid integration laying the groundwork for humanity's advancement, or its downfall? The answers, she knew, would not come easily, but Elena was determined to find them, no matter the cost. The real challenge was just beginning, and humanity would need all of its legendary resilience and ingenuity to face what was coming. Hidden agenda. In the months following her clandestine meeting with Commander Chen, Elena found herself living a double life. By day, she continued her work at the Earth Arconian Research Center, maintaining a facade of cooperation and enthusiasm. By night, she delved into a secret investigation, piecing together the puzzle of the Arconians' true intentions. Elena's breakthrough came on a rainy Tuesday night. She had been poring over genetic data, cross-referencing it with historical human DNA samples, when she noticed a pattern. It was subtle, easily missed if you weren't looking for it, but once seen, it was undeniable. "This can't be right," she muttered, running the analysis again, but the results were the same. The Arconian genetic structure wasn't just compatible with human DNA, it showed signs of deliberate engineering to be so. More alarming still, Elena found traces of what appeared to be ancient Arconian genetic markers in human DNA, dating back thousands of years. Her hands shaking, Elena encrypted her findings and sent a coded message to Sarah Chen. They needed to meet immediately. Hours later, in a nondescript diner on the outskirts of the city, Elena shared her discovery with Sarah and a small group of trusted allies they had assembled. "You're saying the Arconians have been here before. Dr. Akira Tanaka asked, his face pale in the dim light. Elena nodded grimly. Not just been here. I think they've been influencing our evolution for millennia. The question is, why? I might have part of the answer, Sarah said, pulling out a data pad. I've managed to decrypt some of the Arcomians' secure communications. They're not just interested in our DNA for their own survival. They're looking for something specific, a genetic sequence they believe is hidden within the human genome. The implications were staggering. Had humanity's entire evolutionary path been guided by an alien hand? And what was this sequence the Arcomians were so desperate to find? As the group debated their next move, they were unaware that their secret meeting had not gone unnoticed. High above the city, in the Arconian ship that still hovered in Earth's orbit, Zarthal received a report from one of his operatives. The humans are getting close to the truth, the operative's message read. Should we accelerate the plan? Zarthal's skin rippled with dark, turbulent colors. After a moment of contemplation, he made his decision. Initiate Phase 2. We can no longer afford to wait. Back on Earth, Elena and her team were formulating a plan to gather more evidence and potentially expose the Arconians' hidden agenda to the world's governments. But time was not on their side. The next morning, as Elena arrived at the research center, she immediately sensed that something was wrong. The usual buzz of activity was absent, replaced by an eerie silence. As she made her way to her lab, she found it empty. All her colleagues were gone. A holographic message flickered to life as she entered, Zarthal's imposing figure materializing before her. Dr. Reyes, he said, his voice carrying an edge she had never heard before. Your persistence is admirable, but I'm afraid your investigation ends here. It's time for you to understand the full scope of our mission. Before Elena could react, she felt a strange sensation wash over her. The world began to blur, and she realized with a start that she was being teleported, a technology the Arconians had claimed was beyond their capabilities. When her vision cleared, Elena found herself in a vast chamber aboard the Arconian ship. Zarthal stood before her, flanked by other Arconians. But they looked different now. Gone was the benevolent demeanor they had shown on Earth. Their eyes gleamed with an ancient, alien intelligence that sent chills down Elena's spine. Welcome, Dr. Reyes, Zarthal said, his skin pulsing with colors Elena had never seen before. It's time you learned the truth about your species and about ours. The story begins not thousands, but millions of years ago, when our civilizations were young. As Zarthal began his tale, Elena realized that everything she thought she knew about human history, about the Arconians, about the very nature of life in the universe, was about to change. The hidden agenda was far more complex and far-reaching than she could have ever imagined. And as the truth unfolded, Elena understood that the real battle for humanity's future was just beginning. The question was, with the odds stacked so heavily against them, did humanity stand a chance? Or had their fate been sealed millions of years ago, in the stars they had only just begun to reach? The weight of this knowledge pressed down on Elena, but with it came a spark of determination. If there was one thing humans excelled at, it was defying the odds. Whatever the Arconians had planned, whatever ancient game was being played out across the cosmos, Elena knew that humanity would not go down without a fight. As Zarthal continued his revelation, Elena's mind raced, already formulating plans, seeking weaknesses, looking for a way to turn the tables. The future of her species hung in the balance, and she was determined to be the fulcrum upon which that future would turn. Humanity's stand. As Zarthal's revelation unfolded, Elena's mind reeled with the implications. The Arconians, it turned out, were not a single species, but a collective of ancient civilizations, merged over millions of years. Their goal was not mere survival, but ascension to a higher plane of existence. The key to this ascension lay hidden within the human genome, a result of careful genetic manipulation conducted over millennia. You see, Dr. Reyes, Zarthal explained, his form shifting and changing as he spoke, humans are our greatest creation and our final hope. Within your DNA lies the potential for unlocking the secrets of the universe itself. Elena's scientific curiosity warred with her growing horror. But why the deception? Why not just ask for our help? Zafel's expression hardened. Because, Dr. Reyes, the process of extracting this genetic key will result in the extinction of humanity as you know it. Your species is the chrysalis from which our ascended form will emerge. In that moment, Elena understood the true stakes of the conflict. This wasn't just about protecting Earth or preserving human autonomy. It was a fight for the very existence of humanity. Using all her training and willpower, Elena managed to keep her composure. I need time to process this, to understand the implications. Zafal nodded, a hint of respect in his alien eyes. You will have time, Dr. Reyes, but not much. The process has already begun. As Elena was escorted to a holding area, her mind raced. She needed to find a way to contact Earth, to warn them of the impending danger. But more than that, she needed a plan to stop the Arconians. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Sarah Chen and the rest of Elena's team had not been idle. Elena's sudden disappearance, coupled with the strange behavior of the Arconians, had set off alarm bells. Using the evidence they had gathered, they managed to convince key world leaders of the potential threat. As the Arconian ships began to take more aggressive positions around the globe, humanity prepared for a fight it never saw coming. A new dawn. Elena's opportunity came in the form of an unexpected ally, a young Arconian scientist named Liatan, who had grown disillusioned with the collective's plans. Not all of us agree with this path, Liatan whispered, deactivating the force field of Elena's cell. We believe there must be a way for both our species to survive and grow. With Liatan's help, Elena managed to access the ship's communication systems. She sent a message to Earth, warning them of the Arconians' true intentions and providing critical information about their weaknesses. On Earth, the message galvanized the global defense effort. Using the information Elena provided, human scientists worked tirelessly to develop countermeasures against Arconian technology. The battle that followed was unlike anything in human history. Arconian ships filled the skies, their advanced weapons laying waste to major cities. But humanity fought back with everything they had. Missiles enhanced with reverse-engineered Arconian tech streaked through the sky. Hackers launched relentless attacks on Arconian systems, guided by the insights Elena had provided. In space, Elena and Liatan worked to sabotage the Arconian fleet from within. They managed to disable key systems and sow confusion among the Arconian ranks. The turning point came when Elena made a startling discovery. The genetic key the Arconians sought wasn't just hidden in human DNA. It was tied to human consciousness itself, the very thing that made humans unique. Their creativity, their adaptability, their indomitable will was what the Arconians needed. Don't you see? Elena argued, addressing the Arconian leadership. You can't simply extract this. It's not a sequence of genes. It's who we are. By trying to take it by force, you're destroying the very thing you seek. Her words gave some of the Arconians pause. Debates erupted among their ranks, fracturing their unity. Taking advantage of the confusion, Earth's forces launched a final desperate assault. The battle raged for days, the fate of humanity hanging in the balance. In the end, it was not superior firepower or technology that won the day, but the very human qualities the Arconians had cultivated over millennia. Human ingenuity, adaptability, and sheer determination turned the tide. As the dust settled, the remaining Arconians sued for peace. The cost had been high, with millions dead and much of Earth's infrastructure in ruins. But humanity had survived, and more than that, they had proven themselves on a galactic stage. In the years that followed, a new era of human-Arconian relations began. Those Arconians who had opposed the invasion, led by Liatan, worked alongside humans to rebuild and to find a new path forward. The genetic research continued, but now as a collaborative effort, seeking ways for both species to evolve and grow together. Elena, hailed as a hero for her role in saving humanity, found herself at the forefront of this new endeavor. As she stood on the observation deck of the first joint human-Arconian space station, looking out at the stars, she reflected on how far they had come. "We struck back," she murmured to herself, "but in doing so, we didn't just save ourselves. We opened up a new future for both our species." The stars twinkled back at her, holding the promise of new adventures, new challenges, and a future where humanity would play a central role in the grand tapestry of galactic civilization. The day humans struck back had indeed changed everything, ushering in a new dawn for all.